In his most open statement yet, United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon voiced support for the creation of a Palestinian state, giving many UN insiders hope that recognition will be granted in a UN General Assembly vote come September. I sat down with New York-based Palestinian lawyer and activist Lamis Al-Dik to hear her cautious reactions regarding the potential political ramifications.
Ban Ki-moon is proceeding with his call for the recognition of a Palestinian state despite U.S. objection and in consideration of the fact that if Palestine was to be recognized as a state, this would remove the United States from being the key power broker and orchestrator of any negotiations. So it's very notable that this might perhaps symbolize a shift in the international community and in the United Nations to move from political lobbying for Palestinian self-determination to using legal avenues.
The Secretary General has also stated, however, that he agrees with the territorial vision laid out by U.S. President Barack Obama, with Israel's borders being based on 1967 lines, with mutually agreed land swaps. The decision, which is currently under heavy debate inside the UN, will ultimately be made by the General Assembly, who Dik hopes will pass a much different border agreement than that desired by Israel and the United States.
Benjamin Netanyahu has declared in Congress only less than a week ago that Jerusalem belonged to Israel. I think it'll be really important to see that if this new state that's recognizes East Jerusalem also as its capital. I think that's going to be a critical point, and in stopping demolitions of Palestinian homes through legal avenues in the United Nations post recognition of the Palestinian state. But it's not altogether clear what those borders will be, and whether it'll be one contiguous state seems very unlikely, but perhaps something that can be changed in the future.
The New York attorney ultimately believes that the legal ramifications of the vote will prove to be slim, but that overcoming a possible U.S. veto would signify a greater victory for activists worldwide.
I think what will end up happening, though it remains to be seen, is that this will be a symbolic recognition. And what we're seeing in the progress made by Ban Ki-moon and in the lobbying of states and in the support, the massive support that we're getting across the world for the recognition of a Palestinian state, is an increased isolation of the U.S.-Israeli line and a bit of responsiveness to the mass grassroots trend throughout the world, the international movement for the recognition of Palestine and for the liberation of Palestine.
Now, in response, the U.S. Congress has introduced a resolution to stop giving the UN money if it does recognize a Palestinian state outside a final peace deal with Israel. For KSA2, I'm Shruti Mathur, reporting from New York City.